Hello and welcome to the first episode of the DisCast's new show, Beyond Disney, a look inside Walt Disney World. This week, we're going to be looking into the history of Disney Park's first quote-unquote thrill ride. Before we dive into the history, let's take a look at a few quick numbers about Test Track. Test Track's history goes back to a time before Test Track, a time before Speed, a time back when Epcot was known as Epcot Center. The circular warehouse was first home to a ride called World of Motion, which opened as a part of Epcot Center's opening cast of attractions. World of Motion was about the evolution of transportation and created a ride with a similar feeling to the current Spaceship Earth. World of Motion had over 180 audio animatronics and contained over 25 scenes that told the history of transportation. The final scene showcased transportation of the future, which used the Pepper's Ghost effect, which is also seen in the Haunted Mansion. World of Motion was a great first step for Epcot's Transportation Pavilion, but it couldn't reach the entire staircase. It was able to predict the future of cars, but not the future of the ride itself. In the late 1990s, General Motors, the sponsor to World of Motion, was cutting back on employees due to a lack of funds, and its partnership with the Walt Disney Company was on the chopping block. General Motors agreed to sign again with the company under the agreement that World of Motion would receive an update. In 1995, Disney closed World of Motion, and it took a journey through history for the last time. On January 2nd of 1996, the update began. Disney decided to do more than an update though, which took Epcot to a whole new level, a faster level. The new ride would be called Test Track, named after the experience and storyline of the ride. After around 3 years of construction, the new attraction, titled Test Track, opened on March 17th of 1999, after soft opening on around December 20th of 1998. This is nearly 2 years behind the expected opening time of May 1997. This was the result of two troubling problems. The first problem was the tires on the ride vehicle kept on breaking, and they weren't able to support the needs of track and speed. This was solved fairly easily, only requiring a minor manipulation in the car design, but as this problem faded away, a newer, much more terrifying problem arose. Test Track's capacity was only 6 cars on the track per time, and they needed to fit almost 30. The problem caused a year of delay, and countless hours put in by programmers to fit 29 on a track designed for 6. The ride soft opened shortly after the issue was resolved, but constantly broke down. The ride storyline is simple, which makes it fun for families. You are visiting a car testing facility to get an inside look at what makes a car safe. You enter your vehicle, appropriately themed to look like a test car for the facility. You go through a series of tests that put your car to its max and creates a realistic environment with a world of testing cars. The most famous interior test is the hot-cool chamber, where your car is exposed to extreme hot and cold temperatures. After all of your tests are done, you line up for the fastest and final test, the barrier test. You're given the countdown, and your car speeds towards the barrier. At the last minute, the barrier walls move out of your way, and you are off, outside, testing the car's speed. The speed test involves banked turns and a loop around the building. As you return, a thermal scan is taken of you, and you exit to the GM assembly room, where General Motors showcases their most successful cars and prototypes. In 2012, Disney decided that Test Track was in need of an update. Disney began construction on what fans dubbed the Tron Track. On April 15th of 2012, Test Track closed its doors as a testing facility for the final time. Test Track's ride layout would remain untouched, but it would be re-themed and have a whole new skin. It would reopen after being closed for nearly 9 months. The ride now takes place on a sim track, and your vehicle is called a sim car. The new Test Track takes a whole new spin onto the car creation progress. Instead of being about the physical testing, as seen in the older version of the attraction, a newer, more digital and organic spin is placed on it. Test Track has now become a ride about the design process and the effects the design has on the car's performance. Instead of the different tests like the predecessor, Test Track 2.0 contains only 4 different sections: capability, efficiency, responsiveness, and power. At the end of each section, the car you designed is given a grade. At the end of the ride, the car which receives the best grade overall is crowned the winner and is given the title Best Car. Test Track's new design is currently sponsored by GM's Chevrolet Company. Test Track is now currently opened at Future World in Epcot. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Beyond Disney, and we hope to see you for more episodes, and also every Wednesday for the live podcast at twitch.tv/DisCast. I'm Ryan, and I will see you on Wednesday.